One of the biggest mistakes that I see in marketing is that marketers ask for information up front that prospective customers or users really do not like providing. So for example, with surveys, a lot of people will ask as the first set of questions demographic information such as what is your name, how old are you, where do you live, what's your sex, etc. People don't like this. It's annoying, it's not interesting. Really what you should be doing is jumping into the interesting questions such as how often do you use this product, what's your opinion of this, etc. And at the very end of the survey, that's when you ask the annoying questions such as demographics. So the better approach is to jump straight in. And I'm just looking at this example with the Myers-Briggs personality test. You click take the test, and then immediately they start asking you questions such as you regularly make new friends, or do you agree or do you disagree, or are you somewhere in between? They're not asking what is your name, create an account with 16personalities.com. If they do ask it, it's probably going to be the last set of questions. So there are a number of psychological principles at play here. One of the most important is loss aversion. So if you've already committed to answering this question, you kind of feel like you almost own the end result of this survey. So not giving this final set of questions, which may be your name, age, sex, etc., prevents you from retaining what you sort of already own. Like you're 90% of the way there. You feel like you own it. Oh, if you just do that final sprint, you'll not lose that time that you've already invested. Another important concept here is incrementalism. So if you've already committed to answering this question, you're more likely to commit to this, to this, to this, and eventually to the annoying questions at the end, or to sign up for an account. So that applies to surveys, which is a common thing that you're going to do in product marketing. Now, the other thing is when you're trying to get people to sign up for a free account, or even just to sign up to buy something, to actually pay for something. And often what people do is they'll have the call to action on their website as, instead of take the test, it'll be something like sign up for a free account. And then the first thing you see is, what is your name? Maybe your credit card number. What is your password? That is it's okay, but it's probably better to jump people into the product or into the value that you create. So for example, LegalZoom.com, you notice their call to action here is not sign up for an account, it's check availability. So what do you want to call your LLC? Well, let's call it Decker Corp. Check availability. So you see what they're doing. They're showing you value before they're asking for something in return. So I'm going to put in the state here as California, search. Okay, so then they start asking for these annoying questions like my email and phone number. Now, this is really great best practices is get people committing early on. And before you put up this barrier, this it's not a paywall, but it's a commitment wall where you got to provide information, and people are like, you're gonna spam me. This is annoying. I already have 1 million sign-up accounts with passwords, etc. I don't want to do that. Okay, so there's another psychological principle here. So it's not just loss aversion. It's not just incrementalism, or in other words, like small commitments building up to bigger commitments. But the other thing is habit formation. So when you're trying to build a habit, you're trying to get people using your product. One of the things that you need to do is shorten the distance between the problem that the person has and the reward. So in this case, the problem may be, I need to create a corporation to protect myself legally, and the reward is having the corporation set up. So by jumping into the question of whether your corporation name is available, you're kind of shortening the distance there. It feels like I'm already checking for the name. I'm kind of almost at the reward. Whereas when you ask something like, what is your name? What is your sex? What's your password? That makes it seem like a longer process. And there's all sorts of ways that this plays out in the product world. So for example, you notice when you go to the App Store, you're not asked first to create an account. So for example, if you download a video game or you're looking for a productivity app, the call to action is typically install. You're getting people to commit to getting the product before you're asking them to create an account. And then when you ask them to create an account, then you start asking them to pay for something like premium offerings. So it's easier to throw people into your product or to throw people into value before you start asking for something in return, such as creating an account or entering your credit card information.